Oh no. We're in the moot courtroom, however, and I want to welcome you to the University of the District of Columbia David A. Clark new moot courtroom, and to this program. Thank you so much for coming. I am Shelley Broderick, the proud Dean of the UDC David A. Clark School of Law, and I'm so happy to see a lot of alums who are prominent players in the District of Columbia in our audience. Friends and board members and people from our many co-sponsoring organizations. I hope you all have a program. In the program, you will see bios of all of our illustrious guests, so that we're not going to spend a lot of time reading you things you can read and already know yourselves. And you'll also see the many co-sponsors. So I want to recognize and thank Walter Smith from Appleseed, who's here. Who's here from the League of Women Voters? Thank you very much. And DC Vote. DC Vote will certainly be here. They are, in fact, tabling at some point. We also have the ACLU in the house. I saw Fritz Mulhauser. Oh, there he is. And we have the DC Bar, DC Affairs section. Anybody here from there? Thorne Posen, thank you very much. And the UDC David A. Clark School of Law.
Council for Court Excellence.
Oh, Council for Court Excellence, June Kress. Oh, I'm in a lot of trouble now. And thank you for coming. All right, so where are our goals? We first want to educate the public about what the job of the Attorney General entails. What's involved, what's the scope of the job, what does the AG do? We also want to talk about the qualities needed in an Attorney General. What kinds of experiences will help you to succeed? And we want to look a little bit at why should talented people apply for this job. I see a lot of talent in this audience. I hope some of you are contemplating a run for our first elected Attorney General. Now, some of you may think it's a terrible idea. Some of you are actually on record saying that it's a terrible idea to have an elected Attorney General. We're not talking about that tonight because the people have spoken and the decision is made. We are going to have an elected Attorney General. And next April, we're gonna really dive into it and see what this looks like. The other thing I want to say is that this is the first panel. We're really talking about doing at least one and maybe two additional panels because there's a lot to talk about in this position, including the structural organization of the office and many other important aspects of this new huge change that will happen. So we're going to be inviting other speakers, some of whom are people of color. I just want you to know, we noticed right away, that uncharacteristically, I believe it's the first time we've ever had a completely white panel here. And for that, I'm kind of scratching my head, but it is what it is. And you'll see a different view the next time you come, and we'll have some additional perspectives. All right, we have some ground rules. Fellas and Kathy, no filibuster answers. I know you guys and Kathy. I know you guys, no filibuster answers. So do the math. Now this math is going to be complicated because Phil Mendelson isn't here yet. But let's say there were 5 panelists. And let's say they each answer 5 questions for 3 minutes. 75 minutes, gone. We want to have some questions and answers in the last 15 minutes. So those 8-minute answers are not going to fly, and I will cut you off. Okay, so try to be succinct and clear, but brief. Secondly, there's going to be a lightning round So there are at least one, maybe two, just quick questions where we'll ask for a quick answer. At the very end, I'll ask for a 1-minute wrap-up. So if there's something that really has to be said, and you haven't had a chance to say it, you will get one last chance. So, with that, with those ground rules, let's rock and roll. Irv, you are the sitting Attorney General. You're a brave soldier. In 3 minutes, what are the, tell us about the Office of the Attorney General. How many lawyers, how many staff, what divisions? Quick bullet point answer.
Okay, Shelley, thank you for inviting me, and I want to thank all of the sponsors for having this forum. I assume everyone here wants to run for Attorney General. If you brought your petitions, they're due in January. The election is currently scheduled for April 1st, appropriate enough, of 2014. The Office of the Attorney General is a very big, rewarding, intensely busy, and challenging job. It presents the opportunity to deal with a wide range of topics that stem from constitutional law issues to issues interpreting the charter to issues dealing, as you know, with suits against the federal government, as well as tort cases against the district, dealing with the operation of all the agencies of the district, and even the operations of a garbage truck. So the office is the law firm of the District of Columbia. We handle all of the civil litigation that is brought against the district. We handle all the civil litigation that's brought on behalf of the district to recover compensation or to stop activities that are nuisances or inappropriate. We prosecute all the juvenile cases, which include felony prosecutions, murder cases, rape cases, other serious matters. We prosecute a lot of misdemeanors, including drunk driving cases. We handle cases dealing with abused and neglected children. We also do the commercial work for the district, that is, give opinions dealing with bond issues and commercial transactions. And of course, we handle all the appeals in the district, in both the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals and the D.C. Court of Appeals, as well as sometimes even in the Supreme Court. We render opinions to the mayor and to agency heads, and even on some occasions to the city council if they show up.
Payback's going to be brutal.
And to do all this, there are basically about 200 lawyers that are in our office in 10 divisions that were established by Bob Spagnoletti. And then we have 150 lawyers who are in the agencies that we call the subordinate agencies, in which there are about 30 or more, dealing with the police department, fire department, all the agencies that are under the control of the mayor and where he appoints the directors. There's a total of 700 people. There are 2 unions. The lawyers are unionized. One of the union heads is here. And we have a staff union. Let me say that I am very grateful both to my 2 predecessors that are on this panel, Bob and Peter, because Bob established the structure that we operate in the office, which is 10 divisions that deal with these matters that I've described. And Peter assembled a terrific team of lawyers and inherited over the years. We have very excellent lawyers in the office, and obviously I believe I have brought in addition to the ones that I inherited, also some extremely able, hard-working lawyers who work under very difficult circumstances. The main thing I would leave with is that the client of the office is the city, it's the municipality. That's what we try to represent. And sometimes that is difficult. Sometimes it even involves not accepting the positions of agency directors or even the mayor or the council. As an example is the budget autonomy matter that Walter worked so hard on, that while it's a great policy idea, we do not believe that it was legal, and made that clear, which is a very hard thing to do. So that, in a nutshell, is the office, and I think I've done it within your 3 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Bob, what are the Attorney General's most important responsibilities?
Okay, so the
Take your time.
no problem. The Attorney General really wears 3 hats all at the same time. So you're the city's chief lawyer overseeing the operations that Irv just described. And I mean, he said in just a few minutes what really covers these thousands and thousands of matters of very complicated areas. And you've got a terrific staff doing it, but at the end of the day, you are the city's chief lawyer and you have to call the shots on the most difficult and tough questions along the way and set the tone for what's going to happen down below. And everyone, each of us is different, and each of us operates in a different way. So first and foremost, you're the city's chief lawyer. Secondly, you're an agency director. You have 700 employees, and one of the things that I will emphasize is that at the moment, pending any legislative change, you've got the child support division, which is enormous. And it's operational as well as legal, and you've got control of that. The Attorney General has control of that at the moment. And so as an agency director, I think the budget's what, 80 million? Plus or minus?
90 million.
90 million. So you've got all of the agency responsibilities that come along with that. Personnel, budget, and the budget of the Attorney General's office is fairly complicated because you've got local funds and inter-district funds and blah, 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 blah. So you have an agency director's hat. Third, you have to be kind of a politician in dealing with the mayor, the council, the Congress, and anyone else that happens to have an interest in what's happening with the District of Columbia. And each of us, I'm sure, has stories that we can tell about how we have to interact in the many ways we have to balance between your role as the city's chief legal officer and an independent voice in many ways, as well as a player in the political landscape. So those are the 3 big hats that you have to wear. And on any given day, one day you're a little bit more the lawyer, one day you're a little bit more the manager, one day you're a little bit more the politician, and you've got to wear all 3 at the same time.